Someone invades your personal space. Their posture is aggressive, their volume is high, and their sudden arrival demands your immediate attention. Your biological instinct kicks in almost instantly. Adrenaline floods your system, pushing you to defend your ego by mirroring their hostility and snapping back. When aggression triggers an equal energy reaction, the exchange follows a predictable cycle, handing control straight to the aggressor. Breaking this cycle requires the exact opposite. By choosing deliberate non-reaction, you sever the link, pulling control right back to your side. True power in a confrontation relies on neutralizing the opponent's ability to dictate your behavior, rather than trying to match their volume. Picture an early morning in a roadside diner. The coffee is hot, the lighting is low, and the baseline atmosphere is complete calm. An old man sits alone at the counter, quietly eating his breakfast. His demeanor is entirely self-contained, representing a perfect state of emotional regulation. That quiet shatters as three physically imposing bikers breach the doors. They scan the room, looking for someone they can easily intimidate. They zero in on the old man. Their loud energy crashes directly into his quiet isolation, presenting an immediate question. How do you survive an asymmetrical conflict you never asked for? The diner has become a testing ground to see if composure can hold its own against pure, unprovoked hostility. The bikers move through a calculated series of tests, each designed to strip away another layer of the old man's patience. The first biker walks over and extinguishes his cigarette directly into the old man's coffee. This is a primary invasion of property. The second biker reaches across the counter, grabs the old man's toast, takes a bite, and throws it back onto the plate. The conflict escalates to a breach of physical proximity and resource theft. The third biker laughs, shoves the entire plate off the counter to shatter on the floor, and leans in to ask, "Are you scared, old man?" This is direct, unvarnished verbal intimidation. This pyramid breaks down the exact mechanics of their strategy. Level 1, property. Level 2, proximity. And level 3, direct provocation, are stacked in rapid succession to overwhelm the target's cognitive load and trigger the amygdala. The amygdala is a small cluster of nuclei in the brain responsible for processing fear and initiating the fight-or-flight response. If the old man shows visible rage or visible fear, the bikers win. He will have handed them the exact psychological validation they are hunting for. The climax of their bullying is met with complete, unwavering silence. The old man's face registers zero tension. This silence is a refusal to play the expected role. By denying the bikers any emotional feedback, he effectively stops their momentum and makes their performance feel meaningless. Without uttering a single syllable, he calmly stands up from his stool, adjusts his jacket, and walks straight out the front door. Inside the diner, the tension breaks. The bikers sit down and laugh, assuming they've won. One of them tells the waitress that he wasn't much of a man. The immediate social optics point to surrender. But yielding the immediate physical battlefield is often the crucial setup for a devastating counterstrike. The waitress ignores the bikers. She looks out the front window of the diner, realizing the encounter hasn't actually ended. Her expression shifts. She turns back to the laughing men at the counter and says, "Not much of a driver either." Outside, the old man is calmly driving his pickup truck down the highway, dragging all three bikers' heavy motorcycles violently behind his rear bumper. This is a strategy of asymmetric retribution. He refused to engage them where they had an advantage, like a 3-on-1 fistfight, and instead struck where they were completely vulnerable. He traded an unwinnable brawl in a crowded diner for the total, irreversible destruction of their mobility and their primary symbols of pride. This radar chart compares the two approaches to the conflict. The bikers relied on a response that was high in volume, but achieved zero real results. The old man used restraint to maintain complete effectiveness. He used profound silence as his defensive shield inside the diner, and undeniable physical action as his sword on the way out. When faced with any provocation, delaying your initial reaction buys you the necessary time to observe the situation and dictate your own terms of engagement. The bikers were so focused on the theater of the moment that they never noticed the actual threat developing right outside. Their aggression was a performance that left them blind to their own vulnerability. The most devastating response you can offer intimidation is absolute silence, followed immediately by letting undeniable actions write the final chapter.